your property, it's going to be incurred 30% on you. Okay, if you are selling on the 4th year, it's going to be 20%. If you are selling on the 5th year, it's going to be 10%. If 5 years and more, you're going to be 5% only. So a lot of people selling it during the first 3 years, they are thinking, wow, opportunity gonna be 30% is huge. So a lot of people dare not sell their property. They dare not touch the flipping game. So what they do is they just keep the property and keep on renting it. So until 5 years later or more, then only they start selling the property. Why they say so is because they always thought that the 30% will incur on the selling price, which is not true, because after you minus off the selling price with the purchase price, that will be your profit. Now the taxable part will be your profit minus all the incidental costs that incur to you. For example, your renovation fees, your legal fees, your agency fees. What else? Okay, and there's a exemption rate for you. So either it's 10% or 10,000 ringgit to exempt. So after minusing off all this costs, you will have this taxable amount. This taxable amount times with 30% is whatever amount that you need to pay for. So it's not the total amount, whatever you sell. Let's say you sell 500,000. Some people thought that I have to pay 150,000 to the government. No, that's not true. You sell off at 500,000, probably you buy it at 300,000. So you minus off 300,000, you got remainder of 200,000. So of course, this 200,000, you minus again whatever expenses that you have. So after you minus off all these expenses, then only whatever remain, maybe it's 100,000 or 50,000, then you times with the 30%. Okay, but during this year, if fantastic, there's no RPGT. Okay, for the first 2 property that you want to sell. So which means if let's say this year you want to sell 2 properties, or this year you want to get rid of all the property that you have, which is 2, okay, you can get totally no RPGT. Now what if I have 3 property that I want to sell this year? Okay, never mind. So the first property that you sell, there will be no RPGT. The second property that you sell, after that, there is no RPGT as well. But the third property, there will be RPGT incur. Okay, so this is how this RPGT, no RPGT works. All right. So taxation, interesting about taxation as well this year. So taxation, there is a tax exemption for all the vehicle. So all the cars that you want to buy, there is a certain grade and degree of exemption. So if you buy a local example car, okay, it will be 100% exempted on taxes. Okay, so let's say you want to buy Proton, it's going to be 100% exempted. You want to buy Pro Duo, it's also 100% exempted. Now again, I'm not sure about this, but Porsche is supposed to come to Malaysia, right? Porsche is supposed to be in Malaysia already. So if you buy a certain model of Porsche that is assembled in Malaysia, it will be also 100% exempted. Alright, now if imported cars, so you know Porsche Macan is actually made in Malaysia. So Macan will have 100% exemption from the car. But if let's say you want to buy Porsche Cayenne or Porsche Boxster, all these are 100% imported cars, so you only get 50% exemption from the taxes, which I think this is a fantastic time for you to buy a car. It's so tempting, isn't it? But then again, like what I said earlier on, be prudent on what you are spending. If you are having, your cash is a little bit tight, but it's time for you to change a car, then you probably have to look for a car that is not so expensive. Again, if it's not necessary for you to change a car, then you know what? Keep all your cash, because right now, cash is king. I know a lot of people who are doing car and selling car will hate me for saying this, but I think this is much more realistic than, spending all these cars and then you realize that car depreciate and it doesn't appreciate, not like property. All right. So next is tax submission deadline as well is already been postponed if you are under Borang B, which is business. Okay, if you are doing sole proprietor, okay, business, Borang B, it has been extended to 15th of July 2021. Now, if your Borang B P, okay, if your Borang P, it stands for partnership. So it could be a sole proprietorship with two partners, okay. So if you have partners inside, and you will also the same, extended to 15th of July. Now, if you're Borang C, C means company, Sendirian Berhad, supposedly you will have to submit your taxes 6 months after your closing date of your accounting period. Okay, it's supposed to submit 6 months after. Let's say your deadline, okay, your last account date has of 31st of March 2021. Now you have until September to declare your tax. However, because of this pandemic period, okay, government has been really understanding, because during this period, you ask your taxation person to work, you ask your accounting person to work, they work from home. You know, working from home, although a lot of people say that after this pandemic, it's going to change the way you work, all these kind of things, but I still doubt it, because we are Malaysian, we are not foreigner. You know, when you are staying at home, you are less efficient. And until the day that everyone has the self-discipline to work from home, then it's fine. But when you're working from home, you tend to be very distracted by all the things that's surrounding you, your children, your husband, your whoever, your dog and all that. And of course, TV is also a distraction. Phone is also a distraction. Your bed is also a distraction. Everywhere you go, there is a distraction. So if your accountant is working from home, their efficiency rate dropped, and supposedly that they are supposed to hand in June for you, but then, September for you. But then because of their inefficiency, or because of the MCO keep on prolonged, so they are less efficient and they couldn't hand in on time for you, and there will be penalty. Now bear in mind, even 1 day late, even if you're 1 day late, you are still getting a 10% penalty. Imagine that if your taxes supposed to be 60,000 payable, so you will immediately get a penalty of 6,000 ringgit. Now, if your taxable amount, your tax amount is 100,000, then your penalty rate is going to be 10,000 ringgit. So it's quite high, you know, the amount. So rather than so many people get penalty, they have postponed it rather for 6 months, they have postponed it to 8 months after the closing of your accounting period. So PT is also the same. PT is LLP if you're actually having LLP. Now, what's the difference between Sendirian Berhad and LLP? Basically, it's almost the same. It's just that LLP has got a less complicated accounting system. You don't need to audit, but you also don't have to pay so much of money. You don't have to pay like, you know, Sendirian Berhad amount of money, which is 2,000 ringgit. You just have to pay 400 ringgit. That's all. Okay. So this is the account tax submission. Okay. Now, in terms of personal, you also will get a lot of aids from the car isn't asset ma. Car isn't asset. Okay. Okay, personally, you also will get something, but not much. Now, if you have household monthly income of less than 2,500, you will receive 500 ringgit. Okay. If your whole entire household making less than 2,500 ringgit per month, which is this is actually a B40 part. Okay. If you are making less than 2,000 ringgit a month, total, you will receive 500 ringgit. You will receive 500 ringgit not every month, but just one time. So this is something that doesn't make a lot of sense. It's just giving away money. Second one is, let's say your household monthly income is 2,500 to 5,000 ringgit every month. You will receive 300 ringgit. Okay, so then a lot of people will start asking, what if my household is only myself, because I'm a single person? Now, being a single, you also get rewarded, which is, if you are single Malaysian, you will receive 100 ringgit. Okay, this also doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand, why do you have to reward people who are actually being single in the Malaysia? So aren't you supposed to encourage them to get married and have more kids so that the population grow, because we actually having some issue with population right now? So being single actually get 100 ringgit, and this 100 ringgit, because they have got no girlfriend, I don't know what this 100 ringgit is gonna help them as well. So this doesn't make sense to me. But then again, according to Dr. Michael Ball say that the crisis, the UK and US crisis, subprime crisis, the way that they improve the crisis is by giving a lot of personal aid to all these people. But their personal aid is totally different from our country, but this is something that I couldn't comprehend. Now, those of you, this is all the PEMERKASA things that be given to the government. Now, for those of you who are interested to find out more about auction property, how to make money from auction property during this wonderful period, please contact 017-949-6855, because I have a free webinar for you. It's going to be a 2 hours free webinar. So for those of you who are interested, you either contact this number or you click on the comment below. Okay, there is a link directly leads you to the WhatsApp. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this sharing about PEMERKASA. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!